All right. What up, world? It's your boy, Dr. Hip Hop, New Wave in the building. You already seen my interview with London Low, one man Mox P, and now we interviewing the headliner, the man himself, SKY, Brooklyn's finest. You know what I'm saying? So, what up, man?
Yeah, what's good, y'all?
So, man, first off, man, I want to thank you for coming on down, man. You know what I'm saying?
Thanks for having me, yo, for real.
Came a long way from, you know what I'm saying, from out east to the middle of nowhere.
I love it, though. The people, the atmosphere, the whole deal. It's dope, so I'm happy to be here.
Good stuff, man. So, man, so first off, start with them basic questions. When did you first, realize you wanted to be an MC?
It was young, man. It was real early. I was young. I was like 9 years old, you know what I mean? And I was always a fan of hip-hop, growing up in Brooklyn, being in New York, the whole deal. Especially in the 80s. I was born in the early 80s. Especially in the 80s, it was all around you. So whether you wanted to rhyme or DJ, breaking, whatever it was always around you. So 5, 6 years old, I heard everything. But when I was like 9, I heard Chi Ali.
Oh, man.
Yeah, a lot of people, it's ill that you got a reaction off that. That's dope. Because a lot of people, when I say it, I'll be like, yo, Chi Ali. And they be like, okay, who that? You know what I mean? But, they know Tribe, they know De La, they know Black Sheep. They know all that, you know what I mean? And she was one of the members of Native Tongues and the whole movement they had. He was the youngest one. He was like 14.
Right. So, got my African medallion on already.
Yeah. So when she came out, I was young. I was like maybe 8, 9 years old when she was like 14, 15. And I saw, his video, Age Ain't Nothing But a Number. I heard his music, and I was like, yo, man, this dude is dope. Because I knew he was a kid, so I could relate to him, but he seemed like an adult. So it was ill. Like, he was cooler than the other kid groups at the time. And when I heard the album, I was in. I was like, this is what I want to do. So it started, real early for me. I was like 9.
Okay. So who are some of the influences, who are some people that have influenced you in the way you rap?
Yeah. Definitely Chi, like I said, from the early days. And then, you got your Trinity, your Biggie, Jay-Z, Nas. That's what I like to call it, because everybody names them. You got your Triangle off and your Trinity with them. Beyond that, man, G-Rap and Kane and, just all that, that whole era. But then also other places like Scarface, and then, NWA and all them,
Right.
The spectrum is just so wild with me because I literally listen to everything. Like, people don't know I'm like one of the biggest jazz heads in the world, you know what I mean?
Word.
People don't know, they hear the music, they hear me repping New York and lyrics and da-da-da-da-da, but I'm one of the biggest jazz heads, period, you know what I mean? So that's a big part of me too. I'll listen to Coltrane, I'll listen to Miles, I'll listen to, all that, and get inspiration musically from that for what I do lyrically. You know what I mean?
That's
so,
up.
My inspiration is all over the place, man.
Yeah, and what's sad is that the names you said is going to be cats going to watch this video and I know who the hell they are. So go ahead and Google them.
Hopefully
Google that, you know what I'm saying? Go ahead, especially go Google that G-Rap. You know what I'm saying? Because cats be listening to Wayne and T.I. They're like, you need to realize who they got that from.
Right.
G-Rap is the original man with the banger. My man.
Word up.
Okay, so now, kind of bring it to my present day, you know what I'm saying? You've worked with some of the best producers out, hands down, you know what I'm saying? Right. How was it working with Knife?
Working with Knife is dope because Knife is like family, literally, you know what I mean? Like, me and Knife work, it's just working with Knife. Like, you still get that feeling like I'm with Knife, you know what I mean? Grammy Award winning producer, plaques on his wall, Grammys at his crib, the whole deal. But to me, that's Knife, like, that's Pat, you know what I mean? Like, that's my homie, you know what I mean? So, Knife is family for real. So, we've been working for a minute since like 05, you know what I mean? I met him through my man Sean Don and him and Crisis and all of them down there.
Yeah.
Just built that relationship, just, kept in touch and built that rapport. And then that turned into Cloud 9, and Cloud 9 turned into a bunch of other records, which turned into him wanting to sign me to Jamla, and then that turned into the Salvation being out. So, it just went on, you know what I mean? Everything helped the next, and it was dope, you know what I mean? So, shout to Knife, you know what I mean? That's the big brother, that's the homie, his family, and, we're gonna keep it rocking.
Right, man, shout out to the whole Justice League, shout out to all them cats out there,
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying?
Absolutely.
You know what I'm saying? It's kind of sad, the boy's little brother got one more album coming out. I'm a little sad about that.
Right.
But I will, cop that. Like I'll be telling people in 2010, we buying good music.
Support that, man. Support that. Support all the good stuff coming out, the LBs and the Knives and everything from Jamla and Duck Down. And, just support it all, man. If you like it, support it. You know what I mean?
Yeah. Because ain't nobody killing hip hop but the listeners.
I mean, people don't want to believe it, but that's where the bullet is coming from. You know
exactly.
So,
exactly.
You know
what I'm saying? Now, I know besides Knife, you also worked with the late, great Jay Dilla. And I'm not gonna lie to you, that was probably one of my favorite producers of all time. You know what I'm saying? I listen to Donuts literally every day.
Right. I dig it.
You know what I'm saying? You know what I'm saying? That how is that, you know what I'm saying, working with his music? You know what I'm saying? How does that make you feel?
Well, I never worked with Dilla.
Right, I know,
When I told people the story and interviews and things like that, it might have got twisted. But I met Dilla and built a relationship with him. And we was cool, you know, I still got his number to this day in my phone. We used to kick it all the time. And he told me he wanted to send me beats. He was like, yo, I'm putting this beat tape together for you, da-da-da-da, whatever. And we used to chop it up on the phone a good bit. And then when he was supposed to send the joints over, he got sick. So I never got the opportunity to really work with him. But I'm blessed to have the opportunity to kick it with him, build a relationship with him somewhat, you know what I mean? And throw words back and forth with him, and even hear him tell me, yo, I'm getting ready to send you some joints. He was like, yo, I'm about to send you like 20 joints for you, you know what I mean? And pick from that and we'll go from there, you know, because I was trying to get my thing started. This is like 04, I want to say, and I was trying to get my thing started. And, you know, to hear him say that, somebody who, I've only been starstruck like once or twice in my whole life, and I done met everybody doing what I do, and he was definitely the first time.
I can't even imagine it, man.
That was definitely the first time I was ever starstruck. So I mean, it was an honor to be able to build a small relationship with him and kick it with him, and you know, people like House Shoes and people like, you know, everybody in Detroit, you know what I mean? Elzine, Norlam, and Illa J, just keeping his name alive, even down to his moms. I met his moms not too long ago, and she was just like, thank you for everything you've been doing, for, you know, repping my son and holding him down out here and everything like that. You know, that's what we need, you know what I mean? Just keeping it going, letting people know that he's still here, and the people who may not have had the chance to know who he is, get them familiar with it, you know what I mean?
Right. Yeah. Well, you know, you did just release an album, and you know what I'm saying, I reviewed it myself, you know what I'm saying, definitely said it was one of the best albums of 2009.
Thank
easily.
You, I appreciate that.
You know what I'm saying?
Appreciate that.
I mean, it was nice and refreshing to hear a New York artist spit like a New York artist. You know what I'm saying? I know it's crazy to say,
no, it's not,
you know, but it was, you know, it's kind of crazy for me to actually, you know, think that that's something different. But you know what I'm saying? But that was, it was nice and refreshing. You know what I'm saying? The beats was hard. It reminded me of that boom bap. You know what I'm saying? I was raised off, you know what I'm saying, like, very first CD my dad ever put the money in my hand to buy was Nas' Illmatic back in '94.
There you go.
You know what I'm saying?
There you go. There you go. Word up.
You know what I'm saying? So what kind of place did you see your album, you know, being, you know, making in the landscape of the current hip hop game?
Right. Well, what I wanted to do with the album, man, I just wanted to tell my story. You know what I mean? First and foremost, you know, people say, yo, Sky, you dropped a classic, you dropped a modern day classic, or you dropped one of the best albums of the year. Was that your intentions? It wasn't. You know what I mean? My intentions was to make an album that represented Gregory Skylar Taylor, which is me. You know what I mean? Like, my intention was to make an album that told my story, everything that I've been through the past 26 years, 26 when it dropped, 27 now. But, you know, all those years in my life and things that I've been through, things I saw, things I've been around, this, that, and the third. Those was my straight up intentions, because that's what Jay did when he did Reasonably Doubt. That's what Nas did when he did Illmatic. That's what Big did when he did Ready to Die. That's what Snoop did when he did Doggy Style. It was just the honesty in the music, and where everything you heard them talk about, they lived it and they've been through it. You heard Jay on Regrets, you heard Nas on Memory Lane. Those things really happened. So my goal was to make an album like that, so I could stand here and say every word on The Salvation really happened, from Under Pressure to My Interpretation to Maintain to Shoot a Soundtrack. Every song really happened, you know what I mean? And that was the goal. And then beyond that, if people call it a classic, cool. If people say it's one of the best, cool. If they don't, I still stand tall for it, because I know what I did, you know what I mean? So to hear people like you say things like that, and hear other artists in the game and people that I came up under tell me, yo, dude, you nailed it, you annihilated, you bodied it, you killed it, you know, that's an amazing thing to me, you know what I mean? But first and foremost was just for me to tell my story the way I wanted to tell it, and then everything else that happened because of it was added on to it. You know, like on the opener, I say I ain't aim to make a classic, I aim to state what happens, and if the outcome gets praised, then blame the habit, you know what I mean? So it said it right there what my aim was, you know what I mean? Right. Yeah.
Well, I'm just gonna pause it real quick, because you know, with that little limit, you know, YouTube only get that 10-minute limit.
Okay.
So I'm gonna go ahead and do it real quick. We'll come back for just 2 or 3 more questions. You know what I'm saying? Cool. All right.